My name is Richard Brody. I have the privilege of serving as the President and CEO of the Benjamin Rose Institute on Aging, and I want to welcome you all to our lunch. We had a great morning with presentations made from a keynote speaker, Dr. Joe Gowler from the University of Minnesota, and then also 3 presentations on program areas and research activities that are being done by many of our teams at Benjamin Rose. So we did have a great morning, and actually it always culminates in this great lunch, which is gets to be more fun every time we do it. This is the 5th time. So it seems to me that if you can do something 5 times in a row and it works, you can call it a tradition. So we'll think of it as that. It's time for me to get off the podium and to introduce our moderator for our next part of the session, Terry Moir, moderator, who will moderate our MythBuster panel.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, any of you who grew up in Cleveland know there was a show called The Morning Exchange. And I have to tell you something. At one point, for many years, I was the executive producer of the show. If I could have had these 3 guests on any given show, this would have been what we would have called an A+ show. Because this is an incredible group of people. What these 4 people have accomplished in the course of their lives, unbelievable. But having said that, and why don't we start with you, Cris? How do you define successful aging?
I heard this, it's not original, but I think it is critical to today's society, not just for aging, but for living. And you know the Beatitudes, blessed are this, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. And think about it. That is so critical in today's world. And I think aging, life is what happens while you're making other plans. So if you think you can plan it all out, even George couldn't do that. And so that doesn't always work. But if you're flexible enough and observant enough and kind of broad-minded enough, I think aging is minimally troublesome. I say minimally because you're going to get some hurt. It just goes with the territory. And I think if in today's world, we are the fastest growing group in the world. So treat us with our gray hair unless we change its color. Treat us graciously, because we've been here a while and you learn a few things.
That I am 80 years old. And from birth to 80, a lot of folks drop off the scene. And I was one of the few individuals to be able to say, well, look, man, I'm 80. And so I called and it says, okay, count me in. I want to be part of this exclusive club. And that's the way that I take life. Some aches, oh Lord, aches, okay. But I take it as it comes. I don't think of myself as being old and can't do things. I take it, I want to do things, I want to be involved, and I want to make this process as graceful as it can. So, what do you think about aging? Don't think about aging. That's the way I take it.
I think just to look forward to every day when you awaken in the morning, and that's always a plus, to just wake up and to know that you're on your way. But usually every day I have something that I look forward to. And I think that goes back to when I was 39 and I had a bad bout with cancer. And from that day on, every day has been a plus. And so I don't think about aging. I just think, oh gosh, you've lived this long. Somebody's looking over your shoulder, and aren't you lucky? So that I think that would be what I would say. But every day is a plus, and every day is exciting. I have never had an unexciting day in my life, I don't think.
Pay no attention to the calendar. I mean, I forget birthdays because I don't look at the calendar anymore. I mean, that's the last thing I want to know is how many days are left. So I don't pay much attention to it. I just do what I want to do. And I read whatever books I want to read, and I look at whatever TV I want to look at, or get out of the room when Linda turns on another replay of NCIS. And so I just sort of stay busy, you know, and pay no attention to the date. That's the important part.